Hi, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I see our feed is up. We'll be getting started soon. Hello and good morning. Happy Monday, friends. It is September 28th. I'm Megan Malaris here in studio alongside Stacy Spivey. Ed Matthews is out in the weather garden. You can see we are all on our devices, ready to chat with you live here on After GMS on the WFMY Facebook page. We'll get started with our talkers about the flu shot and other things in a moment. But first, let's check our forecast. Ed, not a bad morning in the weather garden.
It's really pretty nice. It's dry. We love that. I see some extra clouds with a few pockets of sunshine, and I think that's going to be the deal as we head through the day. Kind of a variably cloudy day. Now, the shower chance is really pretty low. Only an isolated shower or storm that could pop up any time. Just a 30% chance of that. We're on our way to the mid, maybe some upper 70s with enough sunshine. And then tonight, a few showers around as temperatures drop into the mid 60s, very similar to this morning. And then Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday overnight, the time frame that we're going to watch very closely, a very strong system, upper level low pressure system, and the associated slow moving cold front with a wave of low pressure on that front. These are the ingredients that could bring some heavy downpours to our part of the Piedmont later tomorrow afternoon and overnight. And some of our southern and eastern counties, we couldn't even rule out maybe a strong or severe storm or two. So tomorrow bears watching. It really depends on exactly where the front is going to be later tomorrow and where that wave of low pressure rides up the front. I think it'll be somewhere between the triad and the triangle, the axis of the heaviest rain. And we've already had a bunch of rain recently, so the ground is pretty wet. And it wouldn't take a lot of rain to bring maybe some flash flooding. Some of our models suggesting 1 to maybe in a few spots upwards of 2 inches of rain with this very slow moving system, and likely to see some showers extend well into Wednesday as that upper level system will be very slow to move out. And then finally we dry out by Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. And in the wake of this system, we're going to usher in another big fat batch of autumn air. Look at these temperatures by Friday and the weekend. We're looking at highs into the mid 60s, but at night we're going to chill it down into the mid 40s.
Let's get started with our first talker of the day. For the past 6 months, we've heard a lot about COVID-19, and it remains a global pandemic. But now we're heading into flu season. Flu season peaks between December and February, but typically we start seeing cases as early as October and as late as May. I started this conversation on my Facebook page asking, will you get the flu shot this year? Here's how you are responding so far. Sandra said, yes, I have already gotten my flu shot. Jerry said, never have I had a flu shot, never will. William said he gets his every year since a heart attack in 2000 and got it again last week. Joy said no, she'll continue wearing her mask and thinks that should be sufficient. So again, the guidance here from health leaders is that the flu shot is going to be your best protection against the flu and can help stop the spread of COVID-19 as well. So let's get to WFMY News 2's Candace Red with what to expect this upcoming flu season.
The CDC says everyone 6 months and older should get a flu vaccine every season, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, health officials say that getting vaccinated is more important now than ever before. We also know that vaccination is particularly important for people who are at high risk of serious complications from the flu. That includes people 65 years and older, people with certain chronic medical conditions, pregnant women, and young children. Health officials recommend getting a flu vaccine by the end of October. Research shows it takes about 2 weeks after vaccination for antibodies that protect against the flu to develop in the body. Health officials say getting a flu vaccine will not protect you against COVID-19, but the flu vaccination can reduce the risk of flu illness, hospitalization, and death.
It is possible to get the flu and COVID-19 at the same time. Again, they're both respiratory droplet infections. Many people in the population should get a flu vaccine that would decrease your risk of having the flu and COVID-19 at the same time.
Some other flu prevention tips include basic health habits such as avoiding people who are sick, covering your cough, cleaning and disinfecting frequently touched surfaces, as well as washing your hands with soap and water often. But for more details, all you have to do is visit our website, WFMYnews2.com.
And we've been asking you on our Facebook stream if you get the flu shot or if you have already. A lot of people weighing in. Julie says, yes, I always get the flu shot. Cassie says she's already gotten hers. And Bobby says at the end of the week he plans to get his. Let's see. Francis says, I got mine yesterday. Jason says he's never had one, but he never gets sick. Knock on wood. Yeah, I would knock on that for you as well. Because the 1 year that I did not get the flu shot, guys, I got it twice. I got 2 different strains. So that 1 year was a determining factor for the rest of my life. I will get a flu shot even though I am terrified of needles and I hate it so much. I learned my lesson.
You know, year after year, we always hear people saying that you can still get the flu when you get a flu shot. And that is true. These developers have to develop the flu vaccine before flu season starts. So they essentially have to guess what strain is going to be most prevalent on a given year. Even though you can still technically get the flu with a flu shot, it's going to be less severe than you otherwise would be experiencing. At least that's what doctors are saying. Your symptoms are not going to probably be as severe as keeping you in bed or something. You might just have minor symptoms instead of that full-fledged flu like Stacy was talking about the year she didn't get it. I'm going to get mine. I get mine every year early. I got it last year when I was pregnant, as is the recommendation. My son will get it at his 9-month checkup coming up soon. We are all about vaccinating in our family, and I am comforted to know that it is the best protection against the flu, and I can do my part in stopping the spread, especially in protecting myself and community members. People can't get the flu shot. Some people can't get it, or kids with immunocompromised diseases, they can't get it. So I can do my part to help protect them as well. What about you, Ed Matthews?
I plan on getting my flu shot probably around the 2nd week of October, and my strategy is to wait just a little bit longer because I want to make sure that the vaccine covers the peak, if you will, of the flu season. And I got a little story where Ed learned a lesson. I, tried to be a big shot and go the first half of my life without a flu shot. And I didn't get one until I was 46. I was lucky, but I did get the flu when I was about 44, 45. I thought I was going to die. I'll be honest with you. I ached. I was in just incredible body pain and really, really sick. And the doctor said, you have a mild case of the flu. Mild case. Ed learned his lesson. Every year since then, I have gotten a flu shot, and I always will. I haven't had the flu since then.
You know, Ed, it's funny that you mentioned that you're going to get it in mid-October. That's actually, we did a verify, and that's actually what experts recommend, that you get it during October. That way it lasts throughout the remainder of the flu season. My mom has already gotten hers, and I plan to get mine very soon. So interesting that you said that. Yeah,
definitely learned my lesson as well.
Yeah, Charlie said getting his today. Marcia said she already got hers. You can continue this conversation here on the Facebook feed. We're going to take a look at some headlines and get to our next conversation, which is about North Carolina Day. So go ahead and weigh in on that. Here are your morning headlines. We're seeing encouraging numbers in North Carolina's COVID-19 outlook. The number of lab-confirmed cases dropped Sunday to more than 1,200. They brought the statewide total to more than 207,000 since the pandemic started. That number does include at least 176,000 presumed recoveries. North Carolina hospitalization numbers remain stable with at least 917 in hospitals as of yesterday. The percent positive is staying below the state's goal of 5%, or near it at least. 5% of tests conducted Friday returned positive. We are expecting another weekly recovery report today. We'll bring that to you if we get it at noon. Winston-Salem police need your help finding a missing man who is seriously ill. This is 89-year-old Elihu Dreher. He disappeared Sunday afternoon. Someone last reported seeing him at the Cracker Barrel in Kernersville, driving off in a white 2017 Ford Escape with a license plate HFC 8985. Investigators say he's ill and undergoing chemotherapy treatments. Call police if you have any information. For the first time in the NFL's history, 3 women were on the gridiron Sunday in an official capacity during a regular season game. A female coach was on each sideline and a female official was on the field when Washington football team faced off against the Cleveland Browns. Callie Brownson is the Browns' chief of staff, Jennifer King, the Washington's full-year coaching intern, and Sarah Thomas is an NFL official. Today, September 28th, is National North Carolina Day, a day to celebrate all things North Carolina. Stacy, what an exciting way to kick off the week in our beautiful state.
Yeah, just by chance I saw that this is National North Carolina Day, but if you've never heard of it, don't worry, it's only been around for a couple of years. In 2017, the folks over at the National Calendar Day decided to celebrate all 50 states with their own state day. So in celebration, let's get to some fast facts about North Carolina. Each year, more people visit the Ridge Parkway than Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon combined. Many jazz legends were born in the Tar Heel State, including John Coltrane, Billy Taylor, Thelonious Monk, and the iconic Nina Simone. We've also been the birthplace of a lot of good food and drink. Pepsi, Cheerwine, Krispy Kreme, Mount Olive Pickles, Texas Pete, and Bojangles. And I want to add in there Cookout too, because I love that place. So tell us what you love most about North Carolina. I've only been here for a little over a year, and I talked about this on the Good Morning Show. I love what Megan said, you know, the geography of the state, that you can get to the mountains super quick, and you can also head to the beach. And like Megan mentioned, she grew up in St. Louis, which is not too far from my hometown of Little Rock, Arkansas, and it takes a long time to get to the beach. Like, you get up at 3 or 4 in the morning, you drive all day to finally get there late in the afternoon. Now it takes just a few hours, which is so nice, and the food is amazing here. I love the southern food. I love how you can get grits pretty much anywhere. Don't have that back at home in Arkansas. And I love grits, and there are places, but it's every restaurant here, and I can't complain about that.
Yeah, I agree. I have come to like grits and sweet tea, although still prefer unsweetened, even though that's not very North Carolinian, I know. But yeah, you know, I would testify to the fact that being from the Midwest and moving here now 7.5 years ago, I certainly do not take for granted the beautiful geography of our state, the close proximity to both the beach and the mountains. We spend a lot of time here. My husband's from here, so we've gone on a lot of North Carolina adventures since the two of us started dating and then eventually got married. And now we take our son everywhere outside. I mean, we've been hiking already with him at several places. Can't wait to see all that's to come this fall, and especially with the leaves changing up in Blowing Rock. We hope to go up there at some point soon. But Ed, I have to tell you what Jason wrote on our feed. He said, I love that you can experience all 4 seasons in 1 week in North Carolina.
So true.
Touche, Jason.
And sometimes it seems like all in one day. And Megan, I think it's so cool that you had to come to the great state of North Carolina to find you a husband. And he is indeed a very fine man. I think the world of your husband. And I tell you, you know, I was just beaming with joy to hear you ladies, being from outside of North Carolina, talk about how you really love the state. And I've enjoyed it all my life. And I've had the opportunity to travel just about every square inch of North Carolina, so I know the area very well. As a meteorologist, we have to geographically know the state very well. The big towns, the small towns, the topography and the geography and things like that as well. I remember when growing up, the tourism industry in North Carolina had a tagline that they use quite frequently when advertising North Carolina to people living around the country. And they use the tagline, Variety Vacation Land. And I think that really fits. I don't know if they still use it, but that's exactly what North Carolina is. It has a variety. The mountains, the beach, the Piedmont region, which is a more urban area. We've got something for everybody, and I think that's the reason the population, a lot of people come here and it's like, hey, I love it. And then they go home and pack their bags and move to North Carolina. But you know, in talking to people outside of North Carolina, you know what they identify with, especially people up north. They find out I'm from North Carolina. Oh my God, I love the Outer Banks.
Yes.
Yeah, people really identify with the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and indeed they are beautiful.
You know what else they identify with is Southern hospitality and how friendly everybody is here. I picked up on that right away. I thought it was so interesting how when you drive down the street, say I'm walking the stroller with the baby and people drive by me, they're waving, hey, complete strangers. I don't know them, but they have taken time to acknowledge me. And you know, the number of people who will hold the door for you, well, pre-COVID times at the supermarket and such, you know, it's just amazing how friendly people are. Just this warm, hospitable sense that you get in North Carolina that I don't think you get everywhere else.
Oh yeah, I can totally attest to that. I have a friend that is from Boston, and she said you can always tell when people are traveling in the airport going somewhere to a southern state, because if you look at all the terminals with the northern states, people aren't talking to each other. But if you look at the southern states, everyone is making friends and talking to one another. That's true, that true southern hospitality. I thought it was funny when she told me that.
That is hilarious. We continue to get some comments from folks here. Tia said she loves the festivals and the watermelon and dogwood seafood. Wanda loves sweet tea and Bojangles. And then I responded to Heather's comment. She said she loves Cone Manor. That's one of our favorite places to hike in Blowing Rock, of course, the home, or the summer home, I believe it was, of the Cone family. So really a cool part of North Carolina history, and they're renovating the house if you haven't been there in a while. So it's a work in progress. But Ed, I think all in all, we're just so blessed to live in North Carolina, especially with all this sunshine that's now giving you this angelic glow in your camera.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, really?
Look at your halo, Ed.
Hey, fantastic. Yeah, a little sunbeam kind of shining there on the lens of the camera. Wow, that is kind of funky, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, they're telling me to move. Let's just move on to the 7-day forecast, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I guess, is it time to do weather? I got so embroiled in bragging about North Carolina, I lost my track of where we were. But anyway, yeah, the sun's out. You saw it glowing out here in the garden, but we've got some clouds mixed in as well. I think overall a veritably cloudy day, a few pop-up showers, maybe an isolated storm, but not much today and tonight. Tomorrow, later in the afternoon and overnight Tuesday night, that's the time frame we're going to watch things very closely. A slow-moving cold front, a very strong upper-level low-pressure system with a lot of energy, and a wave of low pressure that's expected to develop on that front. All of those ingredients could come together right over central North Carolina, not only bring maybe a strong or severe storm, especially south and east of the Triad, but also the possibility of some heavy rain on soils that are already saturated from recent rain. Some of our models say 1 to maybe in a few spots upwards of 2 inches of rain. If that does occur, we could potentially have some flash flooding. So we do encourage you to stay with us all day tomorrow and tomorrow night, and your forecast team will certainly keep you updated as things unfold. The rain will eventually get out late Wednesday, and we're going to dry it out and chill it down. Going to get some of that autumn air into the Piedmont. Thursday, sun and clouds and 70, but look at Friday and the weekend. We're looking at mid-60s by day and down into those comfortably chilly mid-40s at night. That's another thing I like about North Carolina is the fall of the year.
And people are still weighing in about what they love about North Carolina, and I have to share a couple of them. Jason says, well, being from Mount Airy, everyone wants to talk about Andy Griffith, of course, can't forget about him. And then Bruce said, I started here in the mid-'80s as a vacationer and loved the area so much that I stayed. So pretty cool there.
What an amazing testament to why we call North Carolina home and are so proud to live here every day. You are a big part of that too, and we want to thank you for joining us here on After GMS for Facebook Live every day at 7:45 around this time. So please join us again tomorrow. For now, we hope you get out there and get to it and have a wonderful Monday.
See ya.